Wealth is more than money. It is a reflection of mindset, discipline, knowledge, and habits. Most people confuse income with wealth, believing that earning more automatically elevates their financial status. But true wealth is about assets, control over resources, freedom of choice, and the ability to live life without constant financial stress. In society, we can categorize wealth into distinct levels: poor, lower class, middle class, rich, and elite. Each level is defined not only by money but by behaviors, thinking patterns, financial literacy, investment strategies, and life priorities. Understanding these levels helps you identify where you are, where you want to be, and how to bridge the gap between earning and real wealth. The first level is the poor class. This is not just about low income. It's about scarcity mindset, lack of financial knowledge, and dependence on external sources for survival. People in the poor class often live paycheck to paycheck, react to expenses instead of planning, accumulate debt due to poor spending habits, and rarely think about long-term goals. They may earn money but lack control over it, spending impulsively on wants rather than needs, falling into the trap of emotional spending or social comparison. Their financial education is minimal, so decisions are based on habit, pressure, or immediate gratification rather than strategy and planning. People in this class often struggle with basic necessities, stress over bills, rent, food, and medical expenses, and have minimal access to wealth-building opportunities. They may also rely heavily on credit cards or loans, creating cycles of debt that are hard to escape. Mindset at this level is reactive, not proactive. They rarely ask, "How can I make my money work for me?" Instead, they ask, "How can I survive until the next paycheck?" Financial mistakes are frequent, unplanned, and often repeated because there is no structured learning or guidance. The poor class often experiences scarcity in multiple areas of life: time, resources, knowledge, and opportunity. This scarcity mindset shapes decisions, leading to compromise and delayed growth. For example, a poor class individual may choose a cheaper but inefficient solution, spend more in the long run, or accept substandard working conditions just to earn immediate income. The second level is the lower class. Lower class individuals have slightly more financial resources than the poor, but still operate under constraints and limited control. They may have a steady income, small savings, and some access to education or basic investments, but their thinking patterns remain limited. Like the poor class, they often focus on consumption rather than wealth creation. They may understand the value of money but lack the discipline, strategy, or knowledge to maximize its potential. Lower-class individuals often live comfortably within their means, but without significant growth. They may occasionally save or invest, but these actions are sporadic, reactive, or influenced by trends rather than careful planning. Debt is managed but still present, sometimes disguised as lifestyle inflation through small luxuries, social spending, or temporary pleasures. Mindset at this level is transitional. They are aware of growth possibilities but are often inconsistent in action or risk management. They may dream of financial freedom, side hustles, or entrepreneurship, but fear, habit, or lack of guidance keeps them within limits. The lower class often measures wealth through consumption, possessions, and immediate lifestyle upgrades rather than through assets, investments, or passive income streams. They may have some awareness of investments like real estate or stocks, but participate cautiously or without long-term vision. These individuals are on the cusp of financial growth but need guidance, discipline, and strategic planning to move to the next level. The third level is the middle class. This group represents financial stability, consistent income, education, skills, moderate assets, and structured financial planning. Middle-class individuals understand the importance of budgeting, saving, insurance, and some investments. They balance consumption with growth, planning for short-term needs and future security. They may own property, have retirement funds, diversified investments, or small businesses. They are disciplined but may still focus on status symbols, material possessions, or lifestyle upgrades occasionally. Mindset at this level is proactive. Middle-class individuals ask, "How can I increase my income? And how can I protect and grow my wealth?" They understand money as a tool for security and gradual growth, not just immediate gratification. The middle class enjoys stability, but is vulnerable to lifestyle inflation, economic shifts, or poor investment choices without careful planning. They may have assets, but are not fully leveraging them to create multiple income streams or financial freedom. Risk tolerance is moderate. They may invest conservatively, avoid high-stakes ventures, or rely heavily on traditional employment or businesses. This group represents the bridge between surviving and thriving, between earning and creating wealth. The middle class often educates themselves through formal education, books, courses, and networks. They understand compound interest, the importance of emergency funds, insurance coverage, and diversified income streams. but may lack the strategic mindset and mentorship to accelerate to higher levels of wealth. The fourth level is the rich class. Rich individuals have mastered multiple aspects of wealth creation, including strategic income generation, asset accumulation, investment diversification, and financial risk management. They understand the difference between income and net worth, and they prioritize wealth building over consumption. Rich individuals focus on creating multiple streams of income, leveraging assets, investing in appreciating assets, scaling businesses, or managing portfolios. They take calculated risks, understand tax optimization, legal protections, estate planning, and have access to advanced financial tools and networks. Mindset at this level is strategic, long-term, goal-oriented, with high self-discipline. Rich people think in terms of growth, multiplication, and freedom, not immediate validation or consumption. They measure wealth through assets, liabilities, passive income, investments, and lifestyle freedom rather than material displays or social comparison. They protect their wealth through diversification, legal planning, insurance, and strategic partnerships. Rich individuals often mentor, educate themselves continuously, expand networks, explore innovation, and leverage opportunities faster than lower levels. They understand that every dollar saved, invested, or strategically spent contributes to long-term wealth creation, freedom, or influence. They focus on scalability, systems, automation, and delegation rather than trading time for money alone. Rich individuals are less reactive, less influenced by trends or peer pressure, more disciplined, and more focused on sustainability of wealth. The fifth and highest level is the elite class. Elite individuals possess extraordinary wealth, both in assets and influence. They have mastered money, knowledge, network, strategic thinking, legal protections, legacy planning, and global opportunities. Elite class members not only preserve wealth but also multiply it, leverage influence, impact global markets, and shape industries. Mindset is visionary, long-term strategic, and often generational. They prioritize legacy, control, autonomy, and exponential growth over consumption or short-term satisfaction. Elite individuals diversify across multiple sectors, countries, and asset classes. They invest in businesses, stocks, real estate, technology, private equity, cryptocurrency, art, and ventures that scale. They use leverage, intelligence, networks, information, legal structures, and strategic planning to multiply wealth while protecting assets from risk, taxes, and mismanagement. Elite individuals understand that wealth is freedom, time, options, influence, impact, and control. Money is a tool to create systems, scale businesses, mentor, educate, innovate, and leave generational legacy. They rarely work for money. Instead, money works for them. The elite class lives by systems, strategies, and networks, not impulse, habit, or consumption. They influence policy, markets, and global trends, ensuring that their wealth grows regardless of economic conditions. This level is not just about high net worth, but mastery of financial intelligence, discipline, vision, network leverage, and risk management. Now let's examine the behaviors and thinking patterns that distinguish these classes in detail. Starting with the poor class, their primary focus is survival, immediate gratification, and avoidance of discomfort. They rarely save, invest, or plan. Income is spent quickly on short-term needs or pleasures. Their mindset is reactive. Decisions are driven by emotion, fear, or habit. They have limited access to financial education, network, or mentorship, and often lack long-term vision. Decisions are mostly influenced by circumstances, necessity, or social pressure. The lower class has slightly more stability. They earn consistently, save sporadically, and may invest cautiously. They are aware of growth opportunities but inconsistent in action. Financial decisions are still reactive but occasionally strategic. The middle class is disciplined, balances consumption and savings, understands basic investment principles, and plans for short-term and medium-term goals. They are proactive in career, business, and income strategies, but may still be influenced by lifestyle inflation, peer comparison, or moderate risk aversion. The rich class focuses on asset creation, multiple income streams, investment diversification, wealth protection, mentorship, network leverage, and scalability. They think strategically, long-term, and proactively protect and grow wealth. The elite class has mastered all aspects of financial intelligence. They leverage influence, knowledge, networks, legal structures, and systems to exponentially grow and protect wealth while creating generational impact. The transition from rich to elite is not just about money, it's about mindset, systems, networks, strategic thinking, and the ability to leverage influence. Most rich individuals earn well, accumulate assets, and create financial stability, But the elite class elevates wealth to a level where money works for them independently, scales exponentially, and impacts markets, industries, or society. Elite individuals understand that time is the most valuable asset. They delegate, automate, and create systems to generate income without constant personal effort. They invest in knowledge, relationships, technology, legal protections, and ventures that multiply returns and reduce exposure to risk. Risk is calculated, long-term, and leveraged strategically for maximum gain. A rich person may own multiple businesses, properties, or investments, but an elite individual owns enterprises that create systems, scale beyond geography, impact communities, or innovate industries. The difference lies in vision, strategy, and execution. Elite mindset revolves around legacy, long-term planning, generational wealth, autonomy, and influence. They prioritize exponential growth over linear income, passive over active, control over short-term gratification, assets over liabilities, learning over stagnation, network over isolation, and strategy over impulse. Elite individuals measure success in influence, impact, freedom, options, control, legacy, and wealth sustainability, not in flashy displays, material accumulation, or social approval. The transition from rich to elite requires mastery over multiple dimensions: financial intelligence, legal strategy, asset protection, investments, network leverage, time management, innovation, and continuous education. A rich person works for money. An elite person makes money work through systems, networks, assets, and leverage. Elite individuals leverage taxation, legal frameworks, investment vehicles, private equity, venture capital, technology, automation, and global opportunities to multiply wealth. They diversify across sectors, countries, and asset classes, ensuring their net worth grows regardless of market conditions. Now let's analyze behaviors, habits, and principles that distinguish each class in detail. Poor class individuals live reactively, spending emotionally, ignoring long-term planning, accumulating debt, operating under scarcity, avoiding financial literacy, and depending on luck or external support. Lower-class individuals are slightly proactive but inconsistent. They save occasionally, invest cautiously, have moderate discipline, but remain vulnerable to lifestyle inflation, peer pressure, and economic disruption. Middle-class individuals maintain stability. They budget, savings, invest, insure, plan for future needs, and moderate consumption. They may own assets, build skill sets, and create some income streams, though not fully leveraging all opportunities. Rich class individuals scale income, strategically invest, leverage assets, plan taxes, diversify, mentor, and create systems. Their mindset is proactive, long-term, strategic, and disciplined. They measure wealth in assets, freedom, control, and passive income streams, not in social validation. Elite class individuals multiply wealth, leverage influence, invest globally, create systems that scale without direct involvement, and protect assets legally and strategically. Their mindset is visionary, long-term, generational, strategic, innovative, and autonomous. They focus on creating impact, legacy, freedom, and options beyond material accumulation. Elite class individuals understand the power of networks. They build relationships with other high net worth individuals, investors, mentors, and leaders to access opportunities inaccessible to lower levels. They think globally, act strategically, protect wealth legally, innovate continuously, and build systems that sustain beyond their personal effort. Most importantly, elite individuals cultivate emotional intelligence, mindfulness, discipline, and focus to make decisions based on logic, vision, analysis, not emotion, habit, or peer influence. Financial strategies differ across classes. Poor class strategies are mostly reactive. Spend what is earned, survive, occasionally borrow, rarely save, rarely invest, and mostly react to circumstances. Lower class strategies include basic budgeting, occasional saving, sporadic investment, and awareness of growth opportunities. Middle class strategies involve structured budgeting, savings plans, insurance, moderate investments, emergency funds, retirement planning, and career advancement. Rich class strategies expand to asset creation, diversification, multiple income streams, investment scaling, legal protections, tax optimization, financial mentorship, and strategic planning. Elite class strategies multiply impact, creating systems and businesses that scale globally, leveraging networks, investing in high-return assets, private equity, real estate, technology, venture capital, stocks, diversification across borders, legal and tax optimization, legacy planning, and generational wealth management. Their financial decisions are proactive, calculated, strategic, long-term, and impact-driven. mindset differences are crucial. The poor class focuses on survival, reactive decisions, short-term thinking, emotional spending, and scarcity. Lower class is slightly aware, occasionally proactive, but inconsistent. Middle class balances consumption with growth, plans moderately, long-term, but may still be influenced by trends or peer pressure. Rich class thinks strategically, long-term, focuses on asset creation, financial discipline, and passive income. Elite class thinks exponentially, leverages influence, networks, legal structures, and systems, plans generationally, focuses on legacy, autonomy, freedom, and impact. Lifestyle and habits also distinguish the classes. Poor class individuals prioritize short-term gratification, may work multiple jobs, have minimal financial education, rarely invest, depend on others, accumulate debt, and live reactively. Lower class individuals have some stability, may own a home or vehicle, save sporadically, invest cautiously, plan modestly, avoid high-risk opportunities, and maintain limited financial literacy. Middle-class individuals own property, have investments, retirement funds, budget, manage risk, seek financial literacy, build moderate side income, maintain insurance, and balance consumption with growth. Rich-class individuals focus on asset growth, multiple income streams, investment diversification, strategic planning, mentorship, network leverage, system building, and wealth protection. Elite class individuals scale businesses globally, leverage capital, invest strategically, protect assets legally, prioritize learning, innovation, networks, systems, legacy, autonomy, freedom, impact, and generational wealth creation. Education and financial literacy are key differentiators. Poor class individuals often lack financial education or guidance, react impulsively, and follow habits or social norms. Lower class individuals may have basic education, financial awareness, sporadic learning, and inconsistent application. Middle class individuals pursue education, read books, attend courses, apply financial literacy moderately, invest cautiously, and plan strategically. Rich class individuals continuously learn, invest strategically, seek mentorship, analyze markets, understand taxation, law, investments, and opportunities. Elite class individuals master knowledge, strategic thinking, global trends, investment vehicles, legal protections, system creation, network leverage, innovation, and legacy planning. Now let's explore how to move from one class to another. Moving from poor to lower class requires discipline, basic financial literacy, budgeting, savings, avoiding debt, developing skills, increasing income, and adopting a proactive mindset. Moving from lower to middle class requires consistent income management, investments, education, moderate risk-taking, long-term planning, financial awareness, and gradual accumulation of assets. Moving from middle to rich requires strategic thinking, multiple income streams, investment diversification, asset protection, scaling businesses, network leverage, calculated risk-taking, advanced financial literacy, mentorship, discipline, automation, and mindset shifts from linear to exponential wealth creation. Moving from rich to elite requires mastery of all financial systems, global thinking, network leverage, strategic influence, legal and tax optimization, investment in high-growth assets, legacy planning, generation wealth strategies, automation of income streams, visionary mindset, emotional intelligence, continuous innovation, strategic delegation, systems creation, impact-focused investments, and long-term control over resources. Risk tolerance differs across classes. Poor and lower class individuals are risk-averse due to scarcity. Mistakes threaten survival. Middle-class individuals tolerate moderate risk, invest cautiously, avoid high-stakes ventures. Rich class individuals understand calculated risk, long-term leverage, strategic investments, diversification. Elite class individuals take high-level calculated risk-optimized positions, leveraging knowledge, networks, systems, legal structures, and market intelligence. Time management is another differentiator. Poor class individuals trade time for money constantly with minimal leverage. Middle class individuals trade time for structured income, moderate leverage. Rich class individuals leverage systems, delegation, investments, and passive income. Elite class individuals rarely trade time for money. Their time is invested in strategic thinking, decision-making, networking, innovation, mentorship, legacy creation, and scaling influence. Mindset towards consumption differs. Upper and lower class individuals consume mostly for gratification. Middle-class individuals balance consumption with savings. Rich-class individuals consume strategically, ensuring spending aligns with growth or leverage. Elite-class individuals consume minimally in proportion to wealth, focus on value, efficiency, impact, or status creation rather than validation. Networking and influence differ. Poor and lower-class individuals have limited networks, many tied to circumstance. Middle-class individuals expand networks moderately. Rich-class individuals leverage connections for opportunities, mentorship, business, investments. Elite-class individuals leverage global networks for access, strategic partnerships, influence, market control, investment intelligence, and legacy creation. In conclusion, wealth levels are defined by mindset, financial literacy, habits, strategic thinking, discipline, investment knowledge, networks, systems, impact, and vision. Poor class survives, lower class stabilizes, middle class grows, rich class scales, elite class multiplies, and leaves generational legacy. Understanding these distinctions helps you identify your position, develop strategies to advance, adopt mindset shifts, protect resources, leverage opportunities, and maximize freedom, control, influence, and wealth in life.